Hello, 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 it's me. I've been wondering, but I will know. Hello, everyone, and good morning. It's actually almost 2 p.m. I got my coffee about an hour ago. Cheers to everyone listening. So I'm going to turn this up a little bit. I never know if it's too low or too high. This morning, I did not wake up when my alarm went off. And I think that we all know that's something I've struggled with since this podcast has started, probably since I was 13, kind of my whole life, except, before I used to not use an alarm because I was a child, obviously. Also, don't mind my legs. They're actually very hairy. I haven't shaved them in like a week because I haven't gone anywhere, except for the beach. So maybe I should have, but that's fine. So this morning, well, let me run back to this week really quick. I promise my mood's going to get better. Okay. I just have a little ranting to do to you guys, and then we're going to be fine and we're going to get on with the episode. But here's just a little Wednesday fucking rant because I didn't upload on Tuesday because I suck. Just kidding. We're so proud of ourselves. We love ourselves. Sorry, guys. Oh, fuck. I don't want to... You know what? We haven't had an angry episode in a while, so it's okay. So this morning, I wake up late and it's 11:47. I woke up on my couch because, yes, I've still been sleeping on my couch. Now, I've slept in my room twice, 2 nights in a row. I didn't wake up to my alarm. I wasn't waking up to my alarm. And even when I say to my parents, hey, can you guys wake me up in the morning? It's not their job, okay? It's not their job to come upstairs and wake me up. So they may give a little holler, a little, hey, get up, Sadie. It's fucking 2 p.m. But guess what? I'm not going to hear it, or I'm just going to respond in my sleep, and they're going to tell me, well, you answered, so we thought you were awake. You know what I'm saying? So I took it upon myself to be the adult I am and go sleep on my parents' couch instead of in their guest bedroom where my bed is. So I went downstairs and I slept on the couch because I knew my dad had business meetings in the morning, and I figured I'm going to wake up to him on his corporate ass call and be like, okay, I'm going to move this joint to get my day started. You know what I mean? Instead of waking up, instead of waking up at 2 p.m. in my room, I'll be waking up at 8 a.m. to a business call happening, and it will remind me, hey girl, you have a job too, so you should probably get up as well. Because not having a boss is hard. Oh my god, that's literally disgusting that I just said that. But we've been through this. You guys understand what I've said. Not having someone tell you what to do and where to be, and it's kind of all just up to yourself. As a 21-year-old, you have to have self-discipline, and that's something that I'm not very good at. I don't beat myself up if I sleep through my alarm. I get annoyed, but I don't. I'm like, all right, now I have to drive to Starbucks and get coffee later in the day. I just don't be like, oh, well, guess what, Sadie, you can't get coffee today and you need to get up and work out. I don't do that. So maybe I need some more self-discipline, but that's a story for another day. Anyways, though, I woke up late today, and the thing with me, if I'm going to be working out, I do like to wake up in the mornings and work out in the mornings. This is hard because I am a caffeine addict, and I do need caffeine before I start working out, or else my head's going to hurt. I'm trying to get back in the routine of not caring and just getting up and working out, and if my head hurts, push through it. So this morning I wake up on my couch. It's 11:15. I'm like, fuck, okay, I slept in. So I wake up, I fold my little couch blanket, I put the stuff on the day bed, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm just gonna work out. Whatever, I'm just gonna work out. So I go upstairs, I put on a workout. Well, also, I got my period this morning. So I'm trying to push through this workout, and as I'm 20 minutes in, I'm cramping so hard that I'm having to manually breathe. I'm laying on my mat as the instructor is 2. Okay, good. 5 more. 1, 2. And I'm oh my God, I'm going to die. So I'm going in the bathroom. I'm trying to poop. I can't. And the one thing I hate, the one thing I cannot stand is if I'm working out and someone calls me and it's business and I have to hop on, or if I can't finish the workout and I have to get on a meeting, or if I can't finish the workout and I have to do anything. If I start a workout and I don't go the full way through, it's the most infuriating feeling ever. And I was laying there and I was I literally can't get through this. Maybe I could have pushed through, but I was in so much pain that I was if I push through this, I'm gonna go fucking have to take a bath and cry after. And I know that there's shit I need to do today, so I was just whatever, I'm just gonna go get a coffee and record my podcast when I get my coffee. Well, I go and I get my coffee, I'm jamming some Tate McRae, I'm getting in the mood to record, and I'm just just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. Fucking Bloody Mary's putting those hormones in my brain that's like, you know what? You actually hate the world today, Sadie. So suck on that, bitch. And I'm literally just driving and I'm like, nope, next song. Cause I live. Next song, live now, think later. I do it so. Next song, kisses to my ex. Trying to do anything I can to just forget. I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I'm Tate McRae this morning. I can live through this. I can live with a guilty conscience and do the fucking podcast. Well, I go to Tom Thumb to get gas in our car because our car, well, I'm in my mom's car right now, as you guys can tell. This isn't my new car, if you guys thought that. Haha, blue balls do. I'm in my mom's car just because Tom's really sandy and dirty. I really need to clean him, so maybe I'll go do that today or something. But there's a hurricane coming to Florida right now. I appreciate actually everyone who's already reached out and been like, hope you're gonna be okay with the hurricane because it is gonna be near here. Oh shit, someone actually texted me that and I think I might have left them on red. Oh no, I didn't, thank God. Anyways, with the hurricane coming and stuff, people freak out because we can lose power because we're not getting the actual hurricane where I live. I live like an hour from the water, by the way. This hurricane though is really, really strong and it's gonna hit hard into areas that are not coastal at all. So prayers to everyone. But we might just get like outer bands and stuff over here. Bonds. We can go bond for a bond. Okay, it's not a joke. And so a lot of people just freak out about the power going out and they want gas because we can also, like, the gas stations will run out of gas or not be able to get gas. So everyone goes and gets gas. So my mom was like, if you're going to take my car, make sure you fill it up. Well, I go to Tom Thumb, pulling in there. There was a cop car at the fucking gas pump. And I'm like, yeah, with the guilty conscience, pulling up to pump my gas. Well, when I'm putting the pump in and I'm pulling the lever, it keeps on like clicking back on me. Like I'm like pump, and like it stops pumping. It happens like 8 times. I'm like, what the fuck? So I go inside. Hey, Mr. Tom. It's not his name. I wish. Hey, Mr. Tom. The gas pump isn't like working. It keeps on clicking out. Are you guys out? And he's like, no, we have gas. It might just be your card. And I'm like, and he didn't really seem like he cared to help that much. And he was kind of older. So I was like, okay, thank you. I go back out. I put my card in again. I try again. Does the same thing. I'm like, what the hell? I put in a different card. Does the same thing. And I'm like, all right, now I'm fucking pissed. Now I'm getting pissed off at this. So I just left and then I came home. Then a friend called me and he was just talking about some random shit. Sometimes this friend pisses me off. You know who you are. He's not listening to this. But sometimes he calls me and he puts me in a great mood. Sometimes he calls me and he just pisses me off. And today was one of those days where I just wasn't having him. He literally did nothing wrong. But I just wasn't having it. We literally have a love-hate relationship. He's like probably one of my closest guy friends. And I swear to God, I've never had a friend like this. One week we literally hate each other's guts. Hate's a very strong word. I don't actually hate everyone or anyone. But like I'll say hate with him. Like because I just say love-hate relationship. One week we literally hate each other's guts. Like I can't stand to even like talk to him. I don't even follow him on Instagram because it's such a love-hate relationship. And then the next week, I'm like, you're such a good fucking person. Like, I actually love you. And today, just wasn't having it. I texted him a paragraph apologizing. Not actually. It was just a sentence. But I was like, I'm sorry. I just got my period today. And, like, I'm really not in a good mood. He was like, you literally weren't being mean. And I was like, well, I felt like I was, so I apologize. Anyways, though, you guys know what I mean, though? The days where, and I feel bad for people who have to go to work and, like, they're in a shitty work environment and have to fucking deal with people they can't stand on their period. Hormones are a real thing. I remember at the Plan Brie live show, she asked me if I had any advice to give to the audience around like mental health and stuff. And I think I did say being a girl and dealing with like the hormones and all the shit that men don't deal with. And I'm not trying to be like some like super feminist right now, but just girls deal with that shit and it's a lot. Like it's a fucking lot. Even my mom, she's to the point now, sorry mom, I'm gonna expose you, where I think menopause is right here, about to slap her in the face, and her hormones are insane and I can't even blame her because I'm like, you know what, she's a woman. Like I've really learned to just walk away from her sometimes, and she probably does the same exact thing for me. We're a very hard-headed family, I will say. We are that way. But I've learned, like, yesterday I could tell she was in a mood. She started kind of going at me. I kind of started going back at her. She was like, that's disrespectful. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave the situation. And I did just that. But it's hormones. I know it's literally hormones. So that's already one thing that we have to deal with. And I remember I talked about that. It was like literally women, like even like sadness, I think hits. I know a lot more men are depressed than women, I think. But I do feel like hormones play such a factor in female, like, moods and all that. Obviously, that's literally science, Sadie. What the fuck? No shit. Okay. All right. We're going to get into yesterday's story time because I wanted to record this yesterday. And when my mom was in a mood, I left the house and I wasn't in the best mood. And I was like, I'm not about to record this in a shitty mood. So I drove all the way to Publix and I had my camera set up and I couldn't find good lighting. And I was like, I'm just going to act like I didn't even post an Instagram story saying there would be an episode today. I'm just going to act like I didn't. And I'm going to gaslight all of you guys and say, no, I didn't. I never posted that. Oh, what? Maybe someone hacked me. I did. There was supposed to be an episode yesterday. I'm really trying to get consistent, guys. I've been consistent with YouTube weekly, and I'm actually so proud of myself, like pat myself on the back for that. But this I have not been. Also, guys, don't look at my armpits. I have laser hair removal on my armpits and my vagina. And so basically what the laser hair removal does is it just thins your hair down to where, like, yes, it grows in slower, and yes, the hair is not as noticeable, but it never permanently gets rid of the hair. I've spent so much money on laser hair removal, and I honestly, like, I would have to look at how much I've actually paid in total for all of my sessions, because I've gone to different people. It's kind of worth it, but it's kind of not. What I like about it is that, like, I can look under my arm and see a lot of, like, not a lot of armpit hair, but visibly see hair. Whereas I can go like this to someone else and they won't see it. Like, they'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, they would have to come close. But if you come close, you're like, oh, wow. Because, like, hairs will grow kind of long and you don't notice it because it's so thin. And then when you do, you're like, ew. And also, like, same thing with, like, down there. They didn't really do my bikini line as much because they said I was always tan. And if you're tan, it doesn't work. I think it varies on who you go to, but same with down there. Like, it kind of just grows in slow and thinner. So even if you don't shave for like a week, it's just thin. I don't know. I'm someone who just has to shave. Okay, this is so TMI, but like, I'm just someone who does shave pretty frequently because it's just like uncomfortable for me if I don't. They say that's a Gen Z thing that we all like shave down there. Like, they're like, we didn't do that. And I'm like, would that not be so itchy? I don't know. Because for me, it just bothers me. But I'm also in a bikini a lot, so I kind of like, I don't know, whatever, it's not even what we're talking about. So yesterday I wake up, and I do wake up early, okay, and I had a full plan for the day. I was like, I'm gonna wake up around 8:30 a.m. I'm gonna go to Publix because I need to get some groceries. I'm then gonna come home, and I'm gonna then I'm gonna get a coffee while I'm at Publix, and I'm gonna buy a pint of coffee. That way I don't go get a coffee every morning anymore. I'm literally about to move. I'm so stupid. Might as well just thug it out and I'm doing just that. I've been getting pumpkin cold foam in my coffees, and it's so good. So good. So I go to Publix. Well, first I got a coffee. Then I was going to Publix. Well, when I'm on the way down to Publix, and keep in mind, Publix is our closest grocery store other than Piggly Wiggly. It's about 10 minutes from my house, right next to the new Starbucks they put in. Thank God. They're such G's for that. So I'm driving down there, and I get a call from my dad, who's on his, like, business meetings, where I slept on the couch that night as well. He calls me. Hey, what are you doing? I'm like, hey, Dad, nothing. I'm just going to get a coffee, and I'm going to Publix and record my podcast. What's up? It's a beautiful day outside, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, like it is. It's been like this for the past week. And he's like, yeah, I've been thinking about taking off work. Why am I talking like Jennifer Coolidge? And I'm like, okay, like, why do you want to take off work? And he's like, it's just such a beautiful day outside, and I would just love to take the day off and maybe do something. And I'm like, okay, well, what would you like to do, Dad? Kind of confused because I'm like, wait, what? Like, he's already working. He doesn't normally do this. And my mom was out. She might have been at Publix. She was somewhere doing something. I don't know where. And he was like, well, you know, your mother, I'm going to have to call her and see what she wants to do. And I just had a feeling like, yeah, Mom's not going to want to go do anything. Like, she's not going to want to go to the beach. And I asked him that, do you maybe want to go to the beach? He said, yes. And I was like, okay, so, like, call Mom and ask her. So then I get a call from my mom. Hey, did I just pass you on the road? And I'm like, yeah, you did, probably. I didn't see you, but I'm going to Starbucks, and I'm going to Publix, and then I'm going to record a podcast. Did Dad call you yet? No, why? I'm like, okay, he wants to take off work and go to the beach. What's your opinion there? And keep in mind, yesterday, Kelly and I were supposed to take photos for Sunkissed, the tanning brand I have. And we were just going to do them in my room because the beach is an hour away and I didn't want to ask her to have to go all the way out there with me. So I was like, we can just do them in my room. It's fine. And she was like, yeah, that's not really in my playing cards to go out to the beach today. I wanted to go home and clean. Your grandparents are probably coming over here, so I don't really feel like fucking go to the beach. And I'm like, all right, well, just, get home, talk to dad about it, whatever. I get my coffee. I start going to record my podcast in the back of the Publix parking lot. And I call first. And I'm like, hey, any update? And my dad's like, yeah, mom said she's fine with going. She doesn't want to stay long. She wants to be able to come home and clean. Which kind of defeats the purpose if you're going to the beach because it's an hour away. So if you only want to stay for an hour, that's 3 hours of your day for just one of those being at the beach. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to come home. So I don't record the podcast. I come home. Once again, Kelly's hormones, they're kicking in. And she's kind of pacing around like, yeah, I guess we're going to go out there for an hour, but I'm not staying long. So Sadie, if you want to drive separate, drive your car separately because I'm not staying out there long. Then if you want to drive separate and stay out there long, you need to drive separate so we don't have to stay out there long. I'm like, okay, I don't really care about staying out there long, but this is a good, thing because, Mom, let's bring your camera and we can just take the Sunkissed photos out there. Since you guys are going to the beach today and we can't take them in my room. I can tell there's a mood going on, and the last thing I want is Kelly having to take pictures of me when she's in a mood. Or maybe she's not in a mood. Maybe I was in a mood, in case she listens to this. So I just said, hey, you know what? Why don't you guys... Was I drooling? I feel like my chin's wet. Why don't you guys just go to the beach and then I will stay here and try and take these photos in my bedroom. And if it doesn't work, I'll come out to the beach. So I did just that. I set up my tripod in my room with my I use this app. Silvana actually recommended it. Shout out Silves. It's called Lens Buddy. The thing about me that I actually have kind of been like this is so stupid, not freaking out about, but thought about recently is I'm like, okay, if I move, who the fuck is gonna take any Instagram pictures for me? Guys, my feed is literally my mom. My mom takes every Instagram photo for me. Like, I'm not ashamed by it either. Who the fuck else am I gonna ask? Like, my friends who are working 9 to 5s, hey, can you come take this Instagram photo with me? No, that's fucking awkward. So I was just like, damn, like when I move, I'm not going to really have an Instagram. I've literally been like trying to look at other people's Instagrams who live similar lives to me, but do social media. And I'm like, who took that? Like, who takes these? Most of the time it's their boyfriend. So fuck you. I set up my tripod in my room. I have the timer on. I'm in a black bra and underwear because it's a thing for the tan, right? And I'm like, my windows are open because they have to be to get natural light in my room. And I'm like, if my neighbors are peering in here, it looks like I'm literally fucking posing for OnlyFans or doing a sex tape in my bed right now. Like, me in my bed with my like body like this and my black bra and underwear and like the self tan and the fucking selfie timer, and I'm like moving around in my bed and I was trying to do it. It wasn't really working. I call my parents. I go out to the beach and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna take him out here. We took him out there. Shout out Kelbell. She pushed through. She did it. Love her so much. She's actually awesome. And then we left the beach. We stopped and we got some food. And while we were getting food, I brought up my car situation to my dad. I was like, hey, Dad, it's supposed to be in by the end of the month, but I haven't really heard anything from these people. And I had kind of texted the people a little bit because I put a deposit down and they weren't really responding. And I was like, that's weird. Like, I hope whatever. And my dad was like, well, just call him. I tried to call him. He said he was with a customer. I'm like, okay, it's fine. And it's a car dealership, so they're dealing with people all day long. Well, I come home and my dad's like, are you sure you sent the money to a Lexus dealership? Like, you're not getting scammed, right? Because of this car situation, guys, I've had so many different people emailing me, like reaching out to me, fucking somehow getting like my phone number, texting me. Like, I've had a lot of people reaching out being like, hey, we want to like get you this car. And so I'm shocked Lexus hasn't reached out, because not that I'm trying to be like, oh, but like, even if I was just some random fucking person, so many people are like, I had no idea what that car was until you. Like, I genuinely had no idea, and I did not expect it to like blow up like that. But I'm actually shocked Lexus hasn't been like, let's do some shit. Like, as a business person, me, why am I referencing myself? As someone though who is tiptoed in the business world, I'd be all over that shit if I was Lexus. But that's their choice, not mine. But I was just like, holy shit, like, I really hope I wasn't scammed and I didn't accidentally send someone money who doesn't actually own a Lexus dealership and they were just acting like it. And that's just me being paranoid, but you have to be nowadays with the internet. And so thank God I didn't. Like, it was right people, and we got on the phone with them, and like it was all sorted. But that took up a little bit of a chunk of my day yesterday because we're trying to go through all of that. And then not only that, I'm trying to unfucking every Lexus thing that comes in I put in the trash now. So I'm trying to go on my trash and put all these back in my inbox in case I did get scammed, and then I can get the car from someone else. Whatever. That took up a chunk of my day. Then Kelly and I went at it a little bit. Not really went at it. When me and my mom go at it, we never like scream back and forth. It's more of just like she makes a comment and then I make a comment, and then we kind of just go back and forth to each other. So I just left the house to go record. Like I said, that's when it was dark out and whatever. So then today I wanted to wake up early and do my day again the way it was supposed to go yesterday, minus the beach, because that was a curveball thrown at me. And I just felt like, you know what? It's my dad. He works a lot and he wants to go to the beach. So I should rearrange my day and go to the beach with him. I really should. That was my week so far. And I feel like when you hit Wednesday and you feel like you're a little bit behind, that's the worst, because you feel like Monday, Tuesday, it's still the beginning of the week. Wednesday, it's like, oh, it's almost the end of the week. At least that's how I feel. Like, I feel like Wednesday comes and everyone's talking about the weekend and shit. So whatever. I'm just being a psycho. I need to chill the fuck out. I have my notes here. I didn't finish up last week's because it wound up being like a long episode and I just stopped. So I have my notes here for things I want to talk about this week. First of all, hope everyone's having a good week. I was trying to listen to some other podcasts the past few days just to get like some insight on how people are, because when I clip my podcast for like TikTok or Instagram Reels and things like that, you know, like those little promo clips people do, when I clip those, I watch them and I'm like, if I saw this clip, I would never go listen to this podcast. I'd be like, holy shit, she seems annoying. Or I'd be like, she seems fucking crazy. Or like, that's not, I feel like people go listen to podcasts for peace. I feel like this brings probably more anxiety to people. Like, that's genuinely how I feel when I listen to myself talk and how quickly I'm talking and how like psycho I'm being. I'm like, this would stress me out more than it would make me feel at peace. So that's why I wanted to do a morning coffee time episode, because I could just be like waking up and being like good morning and have some birds chirping in the background. Maybe we'll do a meditation podcast one week. I don't know. But yeah, clearly not. I start this one off and I'm like, we need an angry episode. Sorry, that's my bad. I'm also like naked. We probably won't even be able to clip this. Okay, the first thing on my notes is influencers are narcissist. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to reference two things. That, and then this girl named Anna Hyde. There's this sweet influencer named Anna Hyde. She does TikTok, and she, I think, is a peds nurse. I could be wrong. Maybe she's just a nurse. Maybe she's not a nurse. Something in the medical field. And when she started TikTok, I want to say she went to Clemson, but I could be wrong. She could have went somewhere else. She went to college and was a cheerleader. No, South Carolina, maybe. I don't know. She went to like a kind of bigger knowing school, and she was a cheerleader, and we grew up in similar areas. I think that's how I knew her. At least people I knew that I grew up around also knew her. So I knew her as kind of like one of those, I first knew her from like an IG influencer, but then she was kind of on TikTok as well. And I've known her like kind of since I've been doing this, or known of her. I met her at Coachella like 2 years ago, which is funny because we're both from like the Southeast and we met in California. But she's a super sweet girl. I saw this girl that made a video about when influencers quit their jobs and people get mad. It's because they're like unrelatable and stuff like that. And I guess over the years of her being like on social media, she's stopped being a nurse, which, like I said, I first knew her from college. So here's my opinion on this. And they were basically just saying like, you know, like one comment was like, I used to follow this girl because she did videos about what outfit she would wear to her corporate job. Then she blew up and she quit her corporate job. And basically these people were just like saying it makes them not relatable anymore, and that's why like they don't understand it, but it's like their content then changes and no one cares anymore. And the girl was referencing also Alex Earl, and she was like, you know, Alex Earl, when she was in college and with her friends, I found her so relatable, and then she graduated and I don't listen to her or watch her anymore. I related to this a lot because I feel like, you know, I had a similar situation, I guess, to what she was saying with the Alex girl. Alex Girl. Like, I don't know who that is. I love Alex Girl. I think she's great. I like kind of, the difference with me though is I blew up with my family. Like, it was with my little brother and with my mom, and I was in this stage which was like high school, and it was so relatable to people. And then also my mom, I was able to get in trouble. My mom would yell at me about things, and I was almost this like, not daredevil, but I would do things to piss my mom off, and it was funny because I wasn't an adult. I was a kid, and that was very relatable to people. Or I would tell like what I'm struggling with at high school with my teachers. That was relatable to an audience. I don't think anyone who was 40 was watching me. Maybe the like videos of me and my mom and my little brother, because those were almost just funny in their own way. But like I said, it was funny because Cooper's a little kid. I'm still a child. My mom can yell at me. Maybe I'm driving the car and I'm a new driver. So that adds like a comedic thing to it. Well, as I became an adult, as Cooper grew up, Cooper was like, I don't want to do these videos anymore. And so that's all fair to him. Honestly, I get it. He started them when he was a fucking child in like 4th and 5th grade. He's literally grown up in the light of social media, honestly. And I don't blame him at all for being like, cut me out. I'm done. Like, I want to go live my normal life and go to school. We moved. People, when we moved, knew who he was. That was kind of hard for him and weird to navigate as a child. So like, at first I was like, Cooper, come on. As I've gotten older and matured more, I understand. And I'm like, yeah, do your thing, dude. Like, I get it. I completely get it. He, I don't even think he lets me follow him on Instagram. Like, he literally is like, I want nothing to do with it. And then, you know, my mom has always been supportive and always been like, I'll be in things with you. My mom also like started working for me. So she was then kind of someone that was like, I was trying to do business with, which I love and I'm so, so grateful for, because it's really hard to trust people in the world we live in. And I've never met anyone that I've trusted well enough to be able to do what my mom does. I hate it for her though, because I want her to just not have to do anything and me like just be her daughter versus like someone she works with. But what I'm trying to say is that like changed our dynamic a little bit. And I kind of struggled with what to post, what to do online. I feel like my audience kind of like backed off a little bit. I just became so inconsistent with things. And I think it's like I used to watch Emma Chamberlain, and when she moved out of her hometown and went to California and was doing different videos, I didn't watch her anymore. And I was kind of like, she changed. But it's like, can you really blame them? Can you really, like, I didn't understand it till I was then in the position of like, okay, what really happened? I became an adult. I'm a normal human being. I can't do car videos with my family forever, especially seeing one of the people who was like a main component doesn't want to be in it anymore. And then like me and my mom, we'll even film car videos sometimes, but I think we're so used to having a camera around. There's not like any aspect of, it's just not the same. You can't recreate an era, a time. You just can't do it. And I think like that, what the girl was saying about, you know, I used to watch Alex Earl and now I don't. All granted, like I get it, you're like granted to your own opinion, but like, oh, this influencer quit their job, now I don't follow them anymore. I was like, you know what? Here's the thing that I think breaks it up, is that some people follow people for the content specifically, and then some people follow people for the person specifically. I was lucky enough to where I felt like I had a lot of people who did want to just stay to see what I did, like just to kind of hang out and be around and be like, whatever you do, like I'll watch it, like I don't care, I like your videos, I like your content. That's how I am with the Anna girl. Like I was like, oh my god, I never even really knew she was a nurse. Like I'm sure I've seen videos here and there about her doing it, but I just followed her because I just liked her. And that's how I am with like a lot of people, like Avery Woods, for example. Like it's even too, it's like, imagine you follow this mom, this family channel, and they get divorced and then they start doing their own thing and you still follow the mom. You follow the mom because you like the mom and you're like interested in her life. Like, can you blame them? They're still human beings. So this has nothing to do with my first like note of influencers or narcissists. I don't know. That was just something I saw and I like had my mind on it. And I was like, it is Like, can you blame someone for blowing up on social media, making more than their corporate job, maybe double more than their corporate job, and saying, I'm going to quit my corporate job and focus on this? Can you blame someone? Because even too, it's like, not to say that social media doesn't take time, but I can't imagine being a nurse and also be thinking about putting up a vlog and putting up a podcast. And like, I'm someone who, if I'm doing one thing, I want to give that one thing my all. And that's been hard for me too, because there's so many different things I want to do. There really is. And I'm like, I want to do all of them, but if I don't pick one and put my all into it and I try and divide it among these 5, I'm going to be miserable. And I'm not going to feel like I'm doing any of those things because I'm trying to make time for each. So it almost just made me grateful, because I do feel like after the family stuff stopped, it has been so different, and there's no way to really recreate what was. And it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I think it's a big reason too why someone like Alex Earl, she still lives in Miami, and she still kind of lives a similar life to what she was doing in college, and still has friends and stuff. That was another thing for me. Like, now I'm just having therapy with you guys, but I don't have friends. Like, I genuinely don't have friends. And I think people think I'm being dramatic when I say that, but I don't have, like, I have, okay, let me rephrase. I have friends, but I don't have friendships that I feel like most 20, 21-year-olds have. With that being said, too, as much as I say all the time, I want a boyfriend, like, oh my God, I just want to get married and have kids and whatever, I don't. I genuinely don't. I think if that were to happen right now, I'd probably be like, fuck, like, holy shit, that was quick, and now I'm going to be a mom, and wow, like, that was quick. But I don't have friends to go party with and do stuff with and things like that. I have a few that can do that every so often, but the friends that I do have are in, like, different points of their lives than me. So I don't have, what the fuck am I saying? Sometimes I genuinely think I need to go to a doctor and get my brain looked up, or like just my behaviors checked, because I wonder if they would be like, diagnose me with anything. I know I definitely have ADHD, but even the content I made when I kind of stopped doing family stuff and I would go visit my friend Rylan all the time, like, Rylan, she's my friend. Do we hang out? Not really. If she calls me, will I answer? Yes. If I call her, will she answer? Do we text here and then? Yes. I have friends that I keep in touch with, but I don't have any friends that are like my friends I go do stuff with. And so that's also hard, because I feel like that's a very relatable thing for people my age, and not having that is weird. But once again, I guess the thing I sometimes just wonder is, like, what do you do? Look at Emma Chamberlain. Like, Emma Chamberlain is literally a great representation, I think, of kind of what social media does a little bit. And she was this bubbly personality, and I think she did just grow up and mature a little bit, but you followed her in this young era of her life, and then she got super big, and I don't think she had a lot of friends. I think she kind of had a lot of filler friends, and I'm completely just like guessing, I don't know, but it seemed as if she had a lot of filler friends, like a lot of different people that she would go hang out with, but probably felt to herself like, are these actually my friends? Do these people actually care about me? And that's a big thing with me, is that I used to not care, like, what a person's intentions were. I didn't care. I knew some people that I felt like hung out with me just because they wanted to take a picture with me, and I know that sounds insane, but I literally have seen it firsthand multiple times. Like, oh, like, Sades, let's take a picture. Okay. They don't give a fuck about what I'm saying to them or about what my life's about. And granted, I've met a lot of people who I'm not as close with anymore who did care a lot about me and, like, actually liked me as a person. But there was a lot of, filler friends I would hang around that I know didn't give a shit about me, and they didn't really care about me, and they didn't even really know me. I used to hang out with a lot of people that I barely fucking knew. I'm looking as if someone's sitting there and no one is. But I think that's the thing too, is that, like, as you get older and as you kind of mature a little bit, you don't really care for that, and you don't really want that. And what brings me to, like, the first thing I said, I guess, is people who do social media are narcissists. I started doing it Okay, I'm not gonna like be like, I'm not, but other people are. I'm not trying to say that. I definitely started doing it because I wanted to be like famous. I did. Like, as I kind of started blowing up and doing more things, I wanted to be talking about my life and doing my own things and people looking at me. It's like I kind of still do the same sort of things, but I don't care for shit to be about me anymore. I don't need to be like, I don't want to plaster my face on a shirt and sell it. I don't care. Like, I don't care for people to know about my life as much. I don't care to like be talked about in like the media like that. I don't care about that at all. It doesn't excite me. I used to love that. Like, I wanted to be like this name, but it is hard to not feel like a narcissist when I'm constantly looking at myself on a screen, editing myself, especially since 90% of it now is me alone. Like, I'm constantly recording myself, talking to basically myself. I know right now I'm talking to an audience, but I'm kind of talking to myself. And then I'm going to go plug this into a computer and listen to myself back again, talk, edit it, and upload it. And then I'm going to do the same thing for YouTube this week. And then if I'm going to go post on Instagram, it's like, it's me. It's supposed to be me. And if I'm going to go post on TikTok, it's something about my life or it's something about me. And I feel fucking insane. Like, I genuinely feel insane. I've gotten to a point, and I'm not even trying to complain because I'm not going to stop. Like, I do still want to do this and I do still really enjoy it, but it drives you fucking mad doing that. Like, it literally, I mean, even think about Alex Cooper or someone like that. It's just like, you have a job where you need to promote yourself. And unless you want to hide it all and talk about different topics, your life and what's going on in your life. And it's, I mean, I've done it since I was younger and like still a kid, so I think it's just my norm, but it is weird as fuck. Like, it's really, really weird. And it's made me want to get into other things. Like, maybe I go start playing fucking golf or maybe I go into acting. Like, I've genuinely been thinking about other areas and what I would enjoy, because I did enjoy having a life outside of social media and my life not being social media. So it kind of is all like revolved back to the topic of influencers are narcissists, because I do think when there's nothing else going on in your life other than social media, all you are constantly thinking about is promoting yourself, branding yourself, your life. Like, it's really fucking weird. And I think that, like, if I had a whole family that I was worried about and then on top of that was doing social media still feels like, even though it's your income stream and that's your job, it feels like it's on the back burner and you're still doing it, but you also have a family and you have a life. Same with like people who do work jobs and do social media. They have a life, but then they also have social media. And that's why I think, to an audience's perspective, they liked it better when they had their life, but they did social media on top of it. But it can get to be too fucking much for the person doing it. But then they stop their job and they can feel like, what am I doing? I'm bored, you know? So it's just like even Alex Earl, like I said, look at her. She has a life. She goes and does things all the time. She's always doing something. She's either with friends partying, or she's in this country, or she's on this talk show. She seems like she's doing things all the time, which, one, gives her stuff to talk about. Two, keeps her moving. Like, it keeps her doing stuff to where, yes, even though she's constantly doing social media, she's still doing all these other things in her own life that make it interesting to an audience perspective. So that's where I'm kind of like, I feel like a fucking narcissist, because I literally like sit down, record a podcast, go and edit it, upload it. I'm thinking about, okay, a YouTube video. What can I do for a YouTube video? Like, talking to a like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And it's a lot of me. And I'm, like I said, once you, I think, mature more, you don't want to do that anymore. Hence why Emma Chamberlain pulled back. Hence why I'm trying to think of other people who like kind of, what was that girl's name? I think Olivia O'Neill, or not O'Neill. Olivia Neal. I love her. I think as we get older overall, we're all way harder on ourselves. We all think about shit a lot more than we did when we were kids. And I'm definitely that way as well. Like, I think, like, I was talking about the other day when I was at the beach. I used to go to the beach, and if I had like a surfboard, I would just paddle out and not give a shit, not think about sharks. As I've gotten older, that really freaks me out. Like, it actually, like, every time I'm in the water, I'm looking around, like, thinking about a shark. And I used to never think about that. Same thing with the friendship thing. You used to be friends with all these people. Then when you, like, realize, who am I friends with, and you kind of grow up a little bit, you're like, why did I hang out with those people? Why did I just not care? And I don't know, I guess when I was younger, I didn't see being a narcissist and recording myself and videoing myself and talking about my life all the time as something I would ever not like anymore. It's just weird. And you do feel like a narcissist. Like, I just want purpose. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to feel like what I'm doing has purpose. And I know that when I do post these things or I post videos, I know that I do have people being like, you don't understand how much I love this or how much it, like, helps me. And that warms my heart. Like, it genuinely does. And it makes me feel, it's like a weird feeling because I don't feel like I'm doing anything. And when I hear that, I'm like, really? Like, just from me, like, yapping my ass off, like, that makes you feel whatever. But I do know, like, when I listen to Madeline RG, like, that makes me feel better. Like, I feel at peace when I listen to her and stuff. But I want something that I just feel like I have purpose for, if that makes sense. But that's just my whole thing of, like, influencers are narcissists. Like, you literally have to kind of tap into a narcissist side. But then it is nice because then when I have relationships, like real friendships in my own life, and even like with guys, I would say it's almost a hard balance too. Because when I'm with guys, or like, let's say I'm talking to a new guy and I'm hanging out with them, the last thing I'm thinking about ever is my work. And like, I can go hang out with a guy for a whole week and not pick up my phone once. But then I remember, like, oh my God, like I have a job. Like, I actually have a job and I forgot about it. But then it's like, okay, I go and I sit down and I'm like, okay, so this week I met this guy and this is what we did. But like, I can't because I'm like, I don't want the guy to be like, what the fuck? So it's weird because I'm like, am I going to have to find someone that has to just be fine with me sharing our lives? And like, if they're going to marry me, like, okay, just so you know, like, I video my day 24/7. It's just weird. But that's my take there. That went way too long. I really have to poop. I just ate an M&M cookie and it was so good. I'm not kidding. I might actually cut out like that whole last shut the fuck up. I might actually cut out the whole last segment because I don't know where the fuck that went. My brain literally started spewing. Who the fuck was listening to that? Loser. I was spewing like really like internal therapies. Every time I get on here, I start to have therapy and I have to remind myself, Sadie, this is not therapy. Maybe you should get a therapist. Here's what's next on my list. I don't give a fuck about anything anymore. I need to live more for me. I've been taking shit way too serious. Which honestly, basically, maybe that's a good topic to go into after my last segment because I do take things way too serious. Even like this move to Georgia, I'm like, okay, I'm honestly not excited about it because I'm lazy, because I would rather just stay here and go to the beach for the whole month of October, because the month of October is literally the best time to go to the beach and you can get so tan. You literally can get tan. And you guys know I love that. Just because it's like the prettiest beach days. No one's there. No one's going to the beach in October. No one's making a beach trip October. So you can literally go down and just lay on the beach all day long with no one around. I always go to Publix and I get a bunch of snacks. I go to the beach. I bring a cooler. I'll bring an umbrella. I'll put a quilt down and I will just lay there all day long and soak in this, like, just the presence of God and the waves. And it literally feels like heaven on earth. Like, it's just the most joyful, peaceful experience ever. And I love it. In case you were wondering. But so as we know with the Georgia move, I've been thinking about it because what else do I have to do? Because I'm a fucking narcissist and all I do is think about myself. I'm like, I don't know why I just don't feel like it's for me. Like, I don't know why, but I know I need to get out of here. I know it's not that I need to. I know that I want to. I know that I want to take these next few years of my life and be really selfish with them. Only because I feel like I want to get married and I want to have kids and I want to be a younger mom. And I'm thinking, okay, you're 21. I would like to, if everything goes to plan and I got to choose, I would like to probably be married by at least like 26. I would. And I know people are going to be like, no, that's young. Like, you just think that because you're 21. But I genuinely do think that. And so, therefore, I'm like, all right, Sadie, you got like 5 years. Go do what you want. Go do what you want. Go live whatever life you want. If 1 year you want to go live an island life, go do it. If 1 year you want to go do this, go do it. Like, just go do what you want, or find something in your career that you really like and nosedive deep into it and just enjoy it. What trickles me about that, though, is that when you nosedive deep into your career, is I feel like there's no stopping after that. Like, for example, the brand that I'm kind of working on, I'm like, shit, do I really want to do that right now? Because it takes a lot of time when you start a brand. It does, because you have to constantly be, thinking about your next drop and thinking about the next collection. And I don't have anyone hired or anything. And I'm like, it would kind of just be me playing all these different parts. And is that really what I want to do? And I don't want to start it and then kind of just like throw my hands up and be like, okay, like that's there, but I'm focusing on this right now. I don't want to do that. So I'm like, is this the perfect timing for that? I don't know. And I'm just like, I need to stop taking everything so seriously and like giving so much of a fuck. And I kind of just want to like go do shit. Like I'm literally not kidding. I've been thinking about like going to New York. Like, I'm like, what if I just went to New York City for a month or two? And I know that sounds so not like me, but I'm like, who cares? Like, you're not saying, oh, I'm gonna go live here for the rest of my life. You're saying, let me go spend a month here and like just do it. And then I can say like, yeah, I've lived in New York City for a month, like I tried it out. And then it's like, go try out Newport, California. Like, just go try things. And I really want to. And I think what holds me back is the fear of getting murdered. Like, that's genuinely it. Like, I'm such a fucking what's it called, paranoid. I'm really a paranoid person. And I think that's partly too because, once again, the only like obligation my job has is post about your life, like post things about what you're doing in your life. So I'm like, yeah, they literally walk around probably with a target on my back. But like, I'm just like, I need to just stop caring and stop taking everything so seriously. And I really need to be young. Like, I need to stop. Like, I don't want to rush into anything. And I think for a while now, I've thought I wanted that. And I've realized I don't want that. I want to just chill. And I think it's something that we all need to do. I was on FaceTime with one of my friends from Georgia. One of my friends that I don't have because I have no friends. Once again, I haven't hung out with this girl since high school. So it's like a girl that is my friend, but we're just like, we keep in touch. And so we were just on FaceTime talking about like her life and what she's up to. And she's like, though, I feel like such a fucking loser because I don't have a plan for anything and I don't know what I want to do. And she literally works a full-time job. Like, she has a job, she just doesn't know what she wants to do. And she's like, I feel like I don't have like the same thing, a purpose. And I could tell she was getting like upset. And I'm like, we're so young. Like, we need to stop. We really need to stop because we're so young. And when you look at older people, like when I see an old man, I don't think he looks at me and thinks, you need to stress more. You need to think more about your future. You need to be more worried about what you're going to do. No, they're probably like, oh my God, I would fucking kill to go back to be that age. Like, yeah, maybe it's stressful and maybe you don't know what you're going to do, but that's the fun part of it all. Like, that's the exciting part, is that it's okay and we're not supposed to know, and we need to all just like take a step back, throw our hands up a little bit and be like, hey, like, let's just live more, worry less. That was merch I did when I was like 18, but it's so true. And that's at the point I'm at, is I'm just like, I don't want to give a fuck. Like, I just want to do things that are fun. And the biggest thing I struggle with is like human connection, because I feel like I don't have a lot of it other than my family at home. And I think that's what scares me about going out into the world, is doing it alone. But I'm like, if I don't try, I'm never going to know what else is out there. And yeah, I'm just like, I want to just go do more and do things. I also don't have it like management it can either work or it kind of doesn't work for both sides. And I had management for a little bit and it just wound up not working out. So I don't have management. Like, that's weird too, because you lose an aspect of like people that you do kind of talk to and you feel like there's more structure in your career. And yeah, so I'm just like back to the drawing board, I guess, with like everything. But I just am trying to care less and do more. But guys, this is going to sound really bad and I don't want this to come off the wrong way. I feel like moving back to my hometown is too comfortable for me. Like, I feel like even though I do like it there, I think that's a great place to raise a family. And I'm like, that's not you right now, Sadie. Like, you're not looking for that. So go. Like, don't go back to your hometown just because it's comfortable. Go and do things. Like, go out places and go see things and go meet new people. Do you know? Like, I think that's what's made me not as excited about it, because I'm just kind of like open to more now, I guess. Like, I'm like, Sadie, stop giving a fuck. Like, just go do more. Go do things. Who fucking cares? I'm not making any sense today. I feel like none of this makes sense. What's my next topic? Come on. Like, really? These suck. Sensitive as fuck and get attached so easily. Facts, but whatever. I wrote, I can do it. I'm debating on being good and focusing on businesses and dyeing my hair dark and looking more classy, or going back to the ratchet bitch who is blonde, tan, fucking throws back shots like it's water and has every guy in the club. Has kissed every guy in the club. Yeah, like that is also what I think about a lot is I'm like, do I want to go the party era again, or do I want to be this more like classy business woman? And I'm also just like, maybe just see where the road takes me. But also it's kind of hard because I don't have a road I'm on. I feel like whatever, this is therapy again. Fuck. What do you guys think? I want the top comment to be a vote between this. Do you guys want to see me do you guys enjoy this more like businessy, not businessy, but like more classy side of Sadie, where I'm kind of growing up and I'm becoming more of like a women, we can say, and doing more adulty things and living my chill little life, but also could be a chill little city life if we go to New York? And that, or do you guys like the like I'm fucking partying and whatever? Do I need another year of that? I can do both. I don't know. I don't know. I can't decide. What's the next topic? I need to stop making red flag men into who I want them to be. This is so true. Okay. One thing I do a lot is I swear I attract the worst men. And I'm not trying to be mean, because these men, you know, I just don't think they're there yet. I attract guys who I think are in that stage where they're like almost to the point of being a good person, but they're not there yet. Maybe not even almost. I think almost is that's like reaching. When I will be talking to a guy and I know they're just like a piece of shit, or I know their intentions are so bad, or I know that I don't actually like them, but I just in my mind keep talking to them because I think, oh, well, you know, like I know who they could be. No, stop. Like, literally, why? I think I just do it for my own personal entertainment, but it's so stupid on my end. Like, when I talk, like, I'll talk to these people and I'll literally just be like, this is me on the phone. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, tell me about this. When my brain is like, they're literally, like, they just want sex, or it's like, you don't like them. Like, this is just entertaining for you. And I need to stop doing that. I'm going to. I actually have in the past, like, week, so... But anyways, guys, this weekend I'm going to a Georgia-Alabama game, so that's going to be a little party girl in me and a party girl weekend. So I'll have a story time about that, I'm sure, and that'll be interesting to hear about. Apparently, everyone and their mom is going to the game. Apparently, Donald Trump's going to the game. Like, apparently, it's a big fucking game. I did DM Rob from Love Island, and I was like, hey, like, are you going to go to the Georgia-Bama game? I don't think he's going to answer me, but it's fine. He's someone who I actually think that I would enjoy hanging out with. Like, he seems like, I feel like him and I grew up similar, and I don't know, maybe I should go to his, like, farm in Alabama. I think Tara Yummy just did that, and I think she's on, like, She's a whole nother playing field than me. But he seems cool. So, like I said, we'll have a whole story time about that. Love you guys, though. Thanks for listening to me literally yap about nonsense. Once again, narcissist. I literally talked about myself the whole time. I need to start talking about other things. Can you guys please give me things to talk about? Please comment. Please comment on I know you can comment on Spotify too. Things that you guys want me to talk about. If there's funny things I can go look at, maybe I'll do a whole fucking episode on memes. I don't know. I need to start doing episodes about something other than myself. Please. Okay. I love you. Mwah.